Hi folks, thank you for joining me once again. My name is Nick from the Super Nintendo, or the SNES if you will, and this racing game is called Newman Haas Indycar featuring Nigel Mansell. Yes, it's probably the longest title ever. Now there's a number of options with this. You can do 1 or 2 players. With 2 players it's split screen, but 2 player isn't there. Special effects and music at the same time, or you can turn the music off, I'll keep it the same. We'll do the full season, see how far we get. We won't do every single race. You can do arcade mode, which is probably a bit kinder on you, or we could do simulation mode, which you know, then you have to set up the car and all that sort of stuff and worry about damage, but I'll probably keep it on arcade. We've already reviewed this game on the Mega Drive, so if you haven't seen that review, have a look as well, so you can get a comparison between the two. But this one's been published by Acclaim in 1994 and developed by Gremlin Interactive. Now we'll be taking control of Nigel Mansell. First race is Surfer's Paradise. Sometimes you've got street circuits, sometimes you've got ovals. Nigel Mansell won the IndyCar season in 1993. There's a few things you can muck about with. We'll keep all those on the screen so you can see what's going on. But I do like racing games. These are my favourite games to play. Now, we'll probably do a couple of races. I won't muck about with practice. We'll just go straight into qualifying, just so I can get the feel of the game. All these races generally feel a little bit different. The road holding around the corners, just so I get an idea there. We're keeping it on manual gears, give myself at least half a chance. If you had this game back in the day, let me know. Now, what do you think? Maybe I should have turned music off and just had the sound effects, but never mind, that'll be playing in the background. So let's go. We're in the team Newman Haas. Right, now I don't know if we've got real life drivers on this, or they're just simulated. It's holding not too bad around there. Ease off the accelerator. So we've got brake as well. We get into a bit of trouble. This track looks like it's flying quite well. Look at the map on the top left if you dare. I think we've got a very tight corner coming to the left at some point as we sweep round here. Going to kick left. There we go. Yeah, and I glanced the wall. In simulation mode, it might have been game over there, but arcade mode, we can sort of like get away with that. I'm just trying to learn the track. So I think in qualifying we get 2 laps. Keep an eye on that time in the middle ticking up. This is just my sighter lap. The next lap, hopefully I go a little bit quicker as we go under the tunnels. It might be my imagination. It looks like it's running a bit quicker than the Mega Drive version, but it seems like there's less obstacles around the place. Whether that changes on future track, I don't know. Horizon is, well, it's acceptable without being stunning. Draw rate so far, well, you can't see too far ahead. Let's keep an eye on that when bridges and stuff turn up. Right, let's keep an eye on it. I think this might be the end of the first lap round here. I don't know why there's lampposts either side. That's blooming dangerous. Right, 106.88. This is to try and get our grid position. Unlike Formula 1, IndyCar starts with a rolling start. This is the sequel to the game Nigel Mansell's World Championship, where he's racing in the Formula 1 season for Williams, winning in 1992. Very next year he went over to the IndyCar circuit and won. Right, okay, so this came out in 1994. Acclaim. Trying to get used to it. It's quite kind on the handling here. Whether simulation mode is a bit more of a challenge, I do not know. But we're just having a quick go. It isn't about expert gameplay, although sometimes it does happen. It's about seeing how you would have got on the game on the first or second go, and would there been enough there for you to want to play it again. Well, already, because of the subject matter and the amount of circuits you need to perfect, I'm interested to see what the ovals are like. I would have played this quite a lot. First on arcade, then I would have gone to simulation. Draw rate isn't brilliant here, but it is acceptable. It's moving at a bit of a lick. Look at the clouds. They're drifting across ever so slowly, individual to each other, which is adding a bit of depth, I suppose. Right, I wasn't looking at the time then. Did I beat it? 104.32, 5th on the grid, but that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Well, anyway, I should be okay then. 5th place. Most of these racing games from the grid, you lose a few positions. Let's see if this one is any different. Super Nintendo, SNES. We reviewed quite a lot of racing games on this system, I must admit. Right, I don't recognise... Oh, Andretti, I recognise him. Maybe it is real drivers after all. It's been a while since I watched IndyCars. Right, anyway, I'm not sure if they're all real ones. I mean, I remember there was a Scott Tracy. I can't see him anywhere. Right, it's the race. Hang on to your haircuts. We're off and running. So the game holds together so far. It's not stunning in presentation, but acceptable. Right, here we go. There's my car there on the right. I imagine that's going to represent damage. We've got position 5. Not sure how many laps there are. Probably not that many. Here we go. Right, now in the middle we've got how many seconds we are behind. I've been overtaken by 2 cars straight away. 4 laps to go after this. Just about got away with that. You can make pit stops if you think the tyres are in trouble. Look at the speed over there. That's very, very fast. Not sure I'm going to Oh man, I'm not sure I'm going to weave past these guys. Looks like we can clip them no matter how many times and still be okay. I'm dropping backwards like a stone. Oh, look at that. That's terribly wide. Someone's going to come on the inside as well. So I've gone right down from 5th to 11th on lap 1. Oh. But if it's a real life, I would be dead. Right, come on, let's just try and weave round. Maybe this has always happened. You just got to plot a way forward. The cars are very wide compared to the circuit. If you drift offline, it makes the corners very, very tricky to try and overtake. So I think maybe you need a bit of skill here to maybe go close behind them and then overtake them on the straight like I did there. Come on, Nick. Go, 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 go. Music seems to be fading a little bit compared to the sound effects. So that's hoping a bit better. But normally I would turn that music off. If you favour the music, let me know in the comment section below. Did any of you complete the championship? Now, I'm imagining, I'm hoping, like the Super Nintendo did a lot of the times, is when you complete a race, it gives you a password. I don't think you can save it on the cartridge, but it gives you a password like a heap of letters so you can do the code and zip back to where you were before. In 5th gear, you can see on the bottom right, car's not taking any damage at all. 0.28 behind, keep an eye on that. So ideally we want to get on the podium, but we're not going to do it from position 11, are we? So it takes a bit of... Yes, it takes a while to get the racing eyes. Really, you want to be on the inside of those corners to carry a bit of speed around. It looks like it's a waste of time being on the outside cutting in, as sometimes in the racing world that's a bit better, but here you just drift off, a bit like an arcade game, like a Lotus Esprit Turbo Challenge. Not much simulation going on here, but maybe that happens in simulation mode. Yeah, I like the engine. It's quite fast, but it's not offering that extra something that I want for it to stand out above everything else. I think I prefer Nigel Mansell's Formula 1, the World Championship one. Have a look at that review as well. Some games it's a cockpit view of that particular game. Some it's a chase view. Can't remember what the Super Nintendo was. Maybe you got a choice of both. Right, okay. A little bit bland, but racers might have liked it use into your IndyCar stuff. Looks like there's a while to improve. I've been stranded in 11th for quite some time, so it looks like I need a little bit of practice. Best lap 104.96, that's my quickest one so far. But you can put in the practice if you want to do a number of laps to try and get into it. I've admittedly just jumped into qualifying and race as a newbie noob, and I'm not at the back unless there's 12 racing. There's one car behind me. You can see first place. We're sort of on the same straight as them. But I think I'd find it a bit tricky to come right the way past them. 2 players, I say, if you do that, is split screen. It's just one car versus the other one. A bit like Lotus Esprit Turbo Challenge again, which does it brilliantly. Talking about Lotus, it has been developed by Gremlin Interactive, who did publish those Lotus games. Loved them on the Commodore Amiga. They're not too bad on the Mega Drive as well. A little bit different, but anyway, there you go. Good to see them on other systems. Right, it's a white flag. Lap 4, if it's the final lap. It's the final lap. At 11th place, I'm not setting the world alight here. Nigel Mansell's Haas car was pretty speedy back then, and I think 11th place wouldn't have been regarded as particularly good. Tough luck, moustache face. If you are watching, Nigel, I say that as a joke. I know you're not watching anyway, but I say that as a joke. If you still got a moustache, I think it went on to have its own series, didn't it? I think. Anyway. Floor it, big nose. So I'm liking this game, but I like a lot of racing games, with the exception of Crazy Cars and Outrun on the Commodore Amiga, which were poor. But I like most of them. Oh, fuel low. Do I need to pit in? I'm on the last lap. Hopefully everyone else is pitted and I can zip in. So I'm in a 104.84. Probably can shave a couple of seconds off that. You can carry a lot of speed around the corners if you come in on the inside without having to ease down. Not too much braking. Pit in, I won't be doing that. It's the last lap. Or should I? Should I pit? Well, I've missed the pit lane now and I can't get in. It's not slowing down on the grass. 11, is that it? That's it, 11th place. Well, I got called into pit on the last lap, which is nincompoopery. Right, Stevens won. I think he was a proper driver. Where did I come? Player 1, 11th, 2 points. So that's quite poor. You get a point for pole position and point for the fastest lap. Yeah, well, at least I got some points. There we go. I'm sure I qualify to the end here, do I? Maybe. I don't think some of those teams are. Was that it? Is that game over? Maybe it's game over. If it isn't game over, then I'll give you one more race, but I think it might be. You wouldn't say hard luck for fun, would it, really? Yeah, see? Look, you get a password, so I can continue, if you want to continue from there. And this is a standard oval, so in theory I should be able to just blast this and win, shouldn't I? If not too much versus controversial, there's not too much skill involved in ovals. Slipstream down the straight. take the bend, don't ease off unless you have to. We'll qualify straight away. This girl's hiding up the side. Can you still have pit girls in the IndyCar? No, you can't have in Formula 1. It's that ended that. Anyway, I added to the demo, what do I know? Right, here we go, qualifying. Let's get a good lap here. The track's as narrow as ever. Right, you can see the wheels seem to be turning. Yeah, look at the draw rate there. The draw rate is quite poor on that curve. Track detail is much lower than the Mega Drive version. Although this is quicker, I think I do prefer the Mega Drive version the way it plays. As I say, I'm going from memory now, but I might be talking rubbish, but the Mega Drive is slightly slower. It's a bit more atmosphere because the track's got a bit more soul to it, the extra objects about the base. Don't get me wrong, this is okay as well. It's like a faster animal, but yeah, it's losing a bit. And now I've seen the draw rate on those bank corners. I'm going to see it every time. So what we've got, 19.56. What's that going to get? The laps are quite short here. Pole position, hooray! So I've got a point already. That's good. Player 1, that's me. Do 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 ba do ba do ba do ba do do. Yeah, you can sing along if you want or not. 1994, that's a long time ago. I got pole position 19.56. 3 tenths quicker than Farnsworth. In your face, Farnsworth. Drop dead, Farnsworth. Right, race. Now I'm quite confident I should win the race, but in the last one, this will be our last race, I think. In the last one, they come past me, so it's not about expert gameplay, as I say. If you watch this far into the video, please consider subscribing. We do hundreds of racing games, but please consider subscribing because that helps the channel grow. I just drove off the track there. If you subscribed already, a massive thank you, and a huge thank you to the members. I'll be honest with you, without the members, this channel wouldn't even be here. So thank you there. Starts with a very low tier, so if you won't miss £2, then thank you very much, and there's other tiers as well. Thank you very much, folks. Let's keep it going. We're stress busting, super buff. This isn't reality. You might be going through stressful times. This is when the community all comes together and we say, in your face stress, we are alive, and we're kicking with some retro gaming tomfoolery. Dodgy gameplay, nonsense chat. Here we go, team. Everything is going to be okay. Except maybe the tyres of my car. Right, what position am I in now? Position 4. I want to get on the podium. Oh, I glanced there. I'm going to get these boys back. But how many laps have we got to do? I don't know. It's unknown. We're on the road to nowhere. Boo-bee-dee-boo. As long as we haven't got to do a pit stop. A Penelope pit stop. Right, come on. I would like to see Wacky Races on the Super Nintendo. Did that come out? Let me know. A bit like this, where you can choose. Well, that'd be great, wouldn't it? You can choose all the Wacky Races cars. Penelope pit stop. Dick Dastardly and Muttley. Those two cavemen that look like Captain Caveman. The Anthill Mob. And it run on an engine like this. That'd be awesome. Pat Pending. What other ones were there? The Arkansas Chuggerbug. But this isn't the Arkansas Chuggerbug. This is Newman Haas with Nigel Mansell with his red gloves on. I think I'm in no man's land, aren't I? I'm in full place chasing it. Looking at the map, there's no one behind me for ages. Oh, I'm trapped in 4th place. This is lap 6. 5 laps left. I didn't mean to speak so high then. 5 laps left. Rude. Well, as a spectacle, I think it's probably better if you grew up in the US where these ovals are more commonplace. As a spectacle, I find this a bit hard. Watching ovals, I find it a bit hard going. I like IndyCar. Well, Indy 500. Watch a bit of that. But yeah, it needs over-the-top commentary on it, really. I prefer the street circuits and the traditional race circuits that you get rather than these. But it's a skill, I suppose. NASCAR's that all on ovals, the whole thing. It's all about slipstreaming stuff. It doesn't seem to have as much skill. So obviously, there's some skill. It doesn't seem to have as much skill as it required for breaking into different type bends, different gearing and all that sort of stuff. But the engine must be under a hell of a lot of stress here. Right, keep going. I'm not catching them up. Look at the gap. Gap to the car behind is 1.6. Oh no, I'm gap to the car I'm behind, 1.66. It's gradually going up. Look, 1.72. I maybe should have set up the car a bit better. Take on a bit of wing. I didn't do any setting up at all, did I? But we are in arcade mode. If you want it to be more realistic, pick simulation mode. So, you know, arcade mode to get your eye in, then simulation mode when you get ready. I'm throwing it more than Indy 500 on the Commodore Amiga, but the Indy 500, that was a much more advanced engine to update all sorts of stuff. It's got arcade graphics, although you can do the simulation as well. But it desperately needs more scenery, doesn't it? There's cacti there on the side of the circuit. I suppose it might even be quicker than Vroom on the Amiga. It's very, very close. Right, 4th place. Yeah, outside the podium, I got more points there. 4th place, player 1, 12 points, and they got a point for pole position. So I could do a whole championship, I could go through, but I think you've got the sort of idea on this one, whether you want to track it down or not. I think it's pretty standard as a race. It does everything it says on the tin. If I bought it back in the day, I wouldn't have been disappointed. But it doesn't stand out as one of the super ones, but it's okay. Sound is there, you can turn the music off. Arcade experience, simulation experience. You can have 2 players if you want to. So it's just all round okay. I don't know what the scores would have been back in the day. Hard luck, Nigel, but you can go to the next race. Anyway, looks like it's going to say hard luck, unless you can get on a podium or maybe win the race. Worth playing, I would say. So I hope you liked having a look at that one. That was a long-titled Newman Haas Indycar featuring Nigel Mansell on the Super Nintendo, published by Acclaim in 1994 and developed by Gremlin Interactive. There, if you want to continue my go, there's the code there. Until next time. Well, if you've got any comments about this game, similar games or anything retro, then please put that in the comment section. And this is the bit I should say. Until next time, take great care of yourself and a very fond goodbye. Goodbye, folks.
Goodbye.